Hey, what's going on, guys? So, Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, just got a pretty meaningful update, and this is one of those patches that actually changes how the game feels instead of just quietly fixing a few little issues in the background. It's out now, and the big thing everybody is probably going to notice first is that New Game Plus has finally been added. That means once you clear the game, you can jump back in with stuff carried over from the run you already finished, including unit levels and item data, which is a huge deal for a game like this because it gives you a real reason to go back through it again without feeling like you're starting from absolute zero. And that is not even the only thing that makes this update feel more substantial than your usual patch. Square Enix also added a Zodiac Compatibility function. So now you can check a unit's zodiac sign and compatibility right from the status screen. If you have played Final Fantasy Tactics for any amount of time, you already know how much little details like that can matter when you are trying to make your party work the way you want it to. It is the kind of addition that saves you from having to remember all the hidden numbers in your head, which, let us be real, nobody wants to do while they're trying to move through a tactical battle and keep everything from falling apart. There are also some very nice quality of life adjustments here that make the whole experience smoother. When you are picking a tile to move to or choosing a target for an ability, you can now check the status of the unit under the cursor, which sounds simple, but in practice, that is exactly the kind of thing that keeps combat moving without constantly bouncing back and forth through menus. On top of that, Remove All Equipment has been added to the Equipment and Abilities section of the unit status screen, and the job unlock conditions are now shown more clearly for jobs that are still locked. Those two changes alone are going to save a lot of menu wandering, especially for anyone who likes planning builds ahead of time and wants the game to just spell things out cleanly. Another nice touch is that the camera angle and zoom settings now stay locked in for the full battle instead of resetting on you partway through. That sounds like a tiny thing until you realize how often a battle can turn into a slow, careful puzzle where you are constantly checking positioning, ranges, and terrain. Having the camera stay where you left it keeps the whole fight feeling a little less fiddly. And then there are the new gameplay settings, which are the sort of additions that show the team was paying attention to how people actually play. There is a maintain auto proceed toggle for cutscenes, an ability incantations guaranteed option that makes sure the spoken lines tied to certain abilities always play, and an ability cursor memory setting that keeps your place in the abilities section of the battle menu. None of those sound huge by themselves, but together they make the game feel a lot more comfortable to live in. The patch notes also mention some smaller but still welcome polish. Text has been adjusted in all languages, certain sound effects have been changed, overall stability has been improved, and other minor issues have been resolved. That is the kind of line you usually skim past. But it matters because a game like this lives and dies on the feeling of being clean and responsive. If even one sound cue or menu interaction feels off, you notice it fast. Here, it sounds like Square Enix was trying to smooth out the rough edges while also making the actual systems more useful. There is one more thing worth calling out because it opens the door wider for more players. The enhanced version now supports text in Simplified Chinese, Traditional Chinese, and Korean. You can switch that through the General Settings language menu by selecting the text language option for the enhanced version. That is a pretty big addition for accessibility and reach, and it is the kind of move that makes the game feel a lot more complete on modern hardware. Between the replay value from New Game Plus, the Zodiac tool, the cleaner battle menu flow, and the extra language support, this update feels like Square Enix is nudging the game closer to the version people hoped it would be from the start.